Tales from the Crypt has always occupied a unique space in the realm of television horror, blending dark humor with unnerving psychological tension and grotesque imagery. And Operation Friendship exemplifies these qualities in a particularly striking way. From the very opening moments, the episode establishes a tension that is both psychological and moral, drawing viewers into a world where trust is not just fragile, but potentially fatal. The narrative centers on a group of childhood friends who reunite under circumstances that seem innocent at first glance, but gradually unravel into a nightmare of manipulation, paranoia, and shocking violence. What is remarkable about this episode is its ability to weave multiple layers of suspense, character development, and social commentary into a tightly constructed story that never loses its momentum. The initial scenes introduce us to the protagonist, a seemingly mild-mannered man who has recently experienced a sense of isolation and alienation. This character is immediately relatable because he embodies the everyday vulnerability of ordinary people when confronted with the subtle pressures of social conformity and friendship obligations. His friends, each with distinct personalities, provide a microcosm of society, reflecting human tendencies such as envy, competitiveness, and the desire for approval. From the moment the group convenes, small gestures, fleeting expressions, and half-spoken words suggest that beneath the surface, tensions are simmering. The beauty of the episode is how these seemingly trivial details gradually compound into a palpable sense of foreboding, demonstrating the creator's meticulous attention to psychological realism. The director employs a combination of visual framing and lighting to heighten the sense of unease. For example, many scenes take place in dimly lit rooms where shadows obscure facial expressions, forcing the audience to question the intentions of each character. In one particularly striking sequence, the protagonist is shown seated at a dinner table surrounded by friends whose faces are partially hidden, and the interplay of light and shadow creates an atmosphere of claustrophobia and mistrust. The camera angles are deliberately chosen to accentuate discomfort, often positioning viewers slightly off-kilter, making us feel the same disorientation and suspicion as the protagonist. This technique is highly effective because it underscores one of the episode's central themes, the precariousness of trust. The narrative's progression cleverly escalates attention through dialogue and pacing. Early conversations, which might appear mundane or even banal, gradually reveal layers of hidden resentment and unspoken competition. The scriptwriters excel at planting subtle foreshadowing, which pays off in dramatic, often shocking ways. There is a scene where one character offers a seemingly friendly suggestion, yet the line is delivered with a hint of sarcasm that only becomes apparent in retrospect. Such moments exemplify the episode's ability to explore the dark undercurrents of human interaction, making it a study not only in horror, but also in social psychology. The audience is invited to reflect on the fragility of relationships and the ease with which camaraderie can dissolve into suspicion and hostility. As the plot thickens, the episode transitions seamlessly from psychological tension to overt horror without losing the underlying social commentary. One pivotal sequence involves a planned reunion activity that serves as a test of loyalty and courage, yet the game quickly descends into chaos as hidden agendas and grudges emerge. The scene is executed with meticulous timing, blending suspenseful music, sudden visual shocks, and moments of dark humor to maintain the series' signature tone. It is fascinating to observe how the episode balances these elements, ensuring that the horror never feels gratuitous, but instead arises organically from the characters' moral choices and interpersonal dynamics. The character development is particularly compelling because each individual's backstory is hinted at through dialogue and action rather than expository narration. The protagonist's internal struggle is conveyed through subtle gestures, such as hesitations, nervous glances, and slight shifts in body language. These nuances contribute to a sense of realism, making his fear and moral dilemma relatable. Similarly, the other characters' personalities are revealed through the way they manipulate, deceive, or attempt to assert dominance over one another. By the climax, viewers are deeply invested in the outcome, understanding that the horror is as much about human weakness and betrayal as it is about external threats. The episode also excels in its thematic exploration of friendship, loyalty, and morality. On the surface, Operation Friendship seems to examine the bonds between friends, yet beneath this veneer, it interrogates the darker impulses that often lie dormant within social relationships. The narrative challenges the viewer to question what we owe to those we consider close, and whether trust is an innate virtue or a fragile social construct easily shattered by selfishness, fear, or ambition. The story suggests that even in the most intimate relationships, hidden resentments and unspoken rivalries can escalate into disastrous consequences if left unchecked. One memorable aspect of the episode is its use of irony and dark humor, which are hallmarks of the Tales from the Crypt series. In a particularly clever scene, a character attempts to exploit the other's weaknesses for personal gain, only to become a victim of their own hubris. The irony is biting and often accompanied by visual gags or macabre twists that enhance the horror while maintaining a satirical edge. This interplay of humor and terror adds a layer of sophistication, inviting the audience to reflect on human folly in addition to enjoying the visceral thrills. The series demonstrates that horror can be both entertaining and intellectually stimulating, and Operation Friendship exemplifies this duality. Visually, the episode uses stark contrasts and unsettling imagery to reinforce the psychological tension. Scenes shift from the cozy warmth of social gatherings to the cold, sterile environment of confrontational encounters, mirroring the transition from trust to betrayal. The cinematography often employs close-ups to capture minute expressions of anxiety, suspicion, or aggression, while wide shots emphasize the isolation of characters when they face moral dilemmas alone. These visual strategies enhance the narrative's emotional resonance, ensuring that viewers are not merely passive observers but emotionally engaged participants in the unfolding drama. Another layer of interest in Operation Friendship is its subtle commentary on the human desire for validation and the lengths to which people will go to secure approval from peers. The characters' interactions are often motivated by a combination of envy, insecurity, and the need to assert social dominance. This makes the horror elements resonate more deeply because they are grounded in real human motivations rather than abstract or supernatural forces. The episode's genius lies in showing that the true terror often comes from ourselves, our impulses, and the ways we manipulate or betray one another when pushed to the brink. The climax of the episode is both shocking and inevitable. By this point, viewers have been drawn into a web of deceit and tension, fully aware that a moral reckoning is imminent. The final confrontation is executed with remarkable precision, combining visual intensity, heightened emotional stakes, and a twist that underscores the story's moral lesson. The resolution reinforces the series' central theme that betrayal has consequences, and trust, once broken, can lead to irrevocable destruction. It is a fitting conclusion that leaves the audience reflecting on the fragility of human connections and the ethical complexities of social life. In reflecting on Operation Friendship, I am reminded of personal experiences of trust and betrayal in everyday life, and the episode resonates because it amplifies these universal emotions to an extreme degree. The fear of being deceived by those we care about, the anxiety of confronting hidden malice, and the moral dilemmas that arise from conflicting loyalties are themes that everyone can relate to. The episode's power lies not only in its suspense and horror, but also in its capacity to make viewers reflect on their own relationships and the ethical choices that define our social existence. In conclusion, Operation Friendship is a masterful blend of horror, psychological tension, and social commentary. Through its meticulous character development, innovative visual techniques, and carefully constructed narrative, it explores the complexities of friendship, trust, and betrayal in a way that is both entertaining and thought-provoking. The episode demonstrates the enduring appeal of Tales from the Crypt, showing that the series' strength lies not just in shock value or gore, but in its ability to illuminate the darker aspects of human nature. It is a story that lingers in the mind long after the credits roll, prompting reflection, discussion, and, ultimately, a renewed awareness of the fragile bonds that connect us to one another.